Hello. I'd like to talk a little bit about grass and carbon sequestration and why we're doing what we're doing, etc. We're out in here, let me turn this around. This is where the cattle were a few days ago. This is where they're going to be today. Grass is doing really good. It's really dry, but the grass got a good start this spring because we had a lot of snow, so it got a good start. And then cows went on it around the end of May after it got good and going. Now I would say this is probably even a little bit old right here, because look at these where is that guy? There's a June grass, and it's going to seed, wiggling it there, and most of its energy is going into the seed now, and then it'll drop its seed, and the stem will be just basically an empty husk. This stuff over here, this one is a Timothy. See, I'm wiggling it. It is still, there's a bunch more Timothys down in there. It's still pretty young. It hasn't totally, it's putting on seeds, and it's got lots of energy in the leaves, etc. It's still growing, so it'd be really good for the cattle to eat right now. Here's some more Timothys over here. There's some clovers down in there. Here's some ryegrass. Or actually, I don't really know what the name of that is. I think it's ryegrass. Maybe it's quackgrass. Anyway, there's a bunch of different kinds of grasses out here. Anyway, what the grasses do is they grow, of course, and they take carbon out of the air and basically build themselves. But one of the things that isn't thought of very much, there's a bunch more clovers down in there, is that while they're growing, they're exuding carbon below the surface of the soil also. And that carbon goes into the soil. So not only does the plant grow and die on the surface, but it also exudes carbon and it grows roots underneath the surface. So it's sequestering carbon underneath the surface of the soil. So that's one of the reasons why grazing, especially if it's management intensive grazing, does a lot more soil sequester or carbon sequestration than non-management intensive grazing or monocropping like corn and soybeans. Corn just yanks carbon out of the soil and puts it into the plant, and then the farmer comes along and turns the seed, yanks the seed away from the soil, and so the net use of the soil is it gets less carbon and less nutrients in it because the seeds go somewhere else. Most of the corn and soybeans is turned into cattle feed, and the cow eats it in a feedlot and poops it out in a small location. Whereas a grass farmer like me turns the grass into beef. The beef poops it out, uses the carbon, uses the nutrients out of the soil and poops it out right back onto the soil. So the only thing that leaves is the animal, which is a much less drain on the soil than if you're taking all these seeds and all the grass and everything else was yanked off the top of the soil and hauled away and fed to some animals somewhere else, and all the nutrients from this grass just went somewhere else, where a grass farmer just puts it right back into the soil. So that's why if there's management intensive grazing, soil carbon goes up, whereas if there's monocropping, soil carbon goes down. And yeah.